Hi everyone, I'm Jeannie and let's get Zebra strong. Today we're looking at pelvic floor. So a lot of people in the hypermobile community and in my clinical experience a hypertonic pelvic floor. So that means the pelvic floor is too tight. Now a tight pelvic floor can give you all the same issues that a weak pelvic floor can give you. But what I tend to do with my clients when we have this hypertonic pelvic floor is find ways to help them relax and sort of lengthen those tissues of the pelvic floor. So I'm going to show you a little exercise. Now I like to do this on my bed or some of my Pilates equipment, but you can also do it on floor. Unless you've got a bed or a sofa, you can sort of stretch out along, that would be great. So we're going to do this. Basically it's a lovely breathing exercise, and I'll talk you through what we're looking at when we're there. So I'm going to come into this position. If I was on my bed, this leg would be along the bed and this leg would be on the floor. Okay, so you'd be kind of like this. Okay, so we can't do that here. So I'm going to sort of set this up as though we were on a bed. So what this does is it allows the pelvic floor and the skin of the inner thighs, now the inner thighs directly link into the pelvic floor, it allows them to sort of stretch and release in opposite directions. Obviously, if you're on your bed, you can let your whole weight of your upper body drop down onto the bed, rest your head in your hands, and it can be quite relaxing. If you're doing it on the floor, what we're going to do is just settle in here and very gently move in and out of this position. So I'm letting the pelvis drop, I'm not collapsing, so I'm lifting my chest, and I'm just going to breathe and let that skin of the inner thighs and pelvic floor release. Think about the breath. So the breath is going to directly influence the pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor and the diaphragm work together. So I'm going to take some nice deep breaths while I'm here, taking a breath in and then letting it go, releasing pelvic floor, releasing inner thighs, and then moving out of it again. So I just move back a little bit. Obviously pad up your knees if you need to, if you've got sore knees. And you could do this, as I say, on a bed, so if you don't want to weight bear on your wrists. So a nice deep breath, letting that pelvic floor almost just soften and drop a little bit, and then moving back, and then just slowly coming out of it. So a tight pelvic floor can present as a weak pelvic floor with all the same issues that you might experience with a weak pelvic floor. And the problem with a hypertonic pelvic floor is that if we try to do pelvic floor strengthening exercises, they can actually make the situation worse. So we almost need to unwind the tissue of the pelvic floor, learn some breathing patterns that are functional, and that really, really helps get that pelvic floor functioning again in its optimal state. So I hope that was useful. Leave me some comments and let me know how you get on. And until then, stay Zebra strong.